Every year people across our planet make interesting discoveries. Due to how far we've come, the majority of these discoveries are explained by researchers. However, every so often someone will come across something that baffles even the best scientists. One of these was a chilling discovery that was made in the snow. Going back in 2018, various news outlets reported that a mysterious discovery had been made close to a fishing village in Khabarovsk. The individuals who made the discovery found a large bag embedded in the snow. However, once they opened the bag, they were shocked to see what was inside. In the bag was 54 severed human hands. What's odd about this discovery though is that previously a single hand had been found in the region. Shortly after this discovery, the bag containing the rest of the hands was found. Investigators were then called to the scene in the hopes they could make sense of it. After interviewing locals around the fishing village though, they said there hadn't been any strange activity in the area. The investigators then laid out all the hands in the snow, and it was then that they discovered that 27 of them matched. The investigators then started to put forward ideas to try and explain the strange incident, but they couldn't come up with anything that would explain why the bag was buried deep in the snow. The authorities said they were baffled and didn't know why it was only hands that were found, saying they have no idea how they ended up there. Some put forward darker theories to explain why the hands ended up where they did, saying that it could have been crime-related. However, after further investigations, researchers said they think they know the reason behind why the hands were found the way they were. They said they likely belonged to a medical centre, and had been used by medical students in the area. This is further backed up by the alleged medical badges that were found close by. Researchers further said that hands are sometimes stored in this way in order to retain fingerprints for identification. As some have pointed out though, why would both hands of a corpse need to be cut off when only one would have been needed? The investigative committee said the following in a statement: "These biological objects' hands are not of criminal origin, but are disposed of in a manner not provided for by law. When it comes to strange findings, Russia is no stranger. In fact, over the years, many interesting discoveries and reports have been made from this region. One interesting place is that of the Russian M Triangle. Though many reports of extraterrestrial crafts have gone unreported in Russia, due to the tremendous amount of effort made by the Soviet government of the past, it appears that the ex-Soviet region has become tremendously more transparent with its information regarding such sightings and activity, as well as investigative measures. It's become more apparent to UFO researchers that there's been a steep incline in UFO sightings in the city of Sochi located in Russia that has puzzled researchers due to the sheer number of sightings. Science and technology is moving at a very fast pace, and during recent years prominent figures have emerged. One of these individuals is that of Bill Gates. Many people are aware of Bill Gates, and know him as the man behind Microsoft, pushing the company to what it is today. He's dedicated his nearly limitless fortune and time into forming the non-profit organisation known as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, named after himself and his wife, of whom helped to start the organisation in order to help tackle a lot of the problems that plague the world. Not only has this proven to be an incredibly fruitful endeavour, causing dramatic changes in impoverished countries, as well as saving a countless amount of lives, but has led to incredible technological breakthroughs in the realms of sustainability and industrial revolution in poverty-stricken areas. The Gates Foundation has the following message on their website: "To bring about the kind of changes that will help people live healthier and more productive lives, we seek to understand the world's inequalities. Whether the challenge is low-yield crops in Africa, or low graduation rates in Los Angeles, we listen and learn so we can identify pressing problems that get little attention. Then we consider whether we can make a meaningful difference with our influence and our investments, whether it is a grant or a contract." Bill Gates has come forward over the years with many interesting predictions. He's vocal about the issues we're currently facing in the world, and has said that he's trying to work with the world's best researchers in order to tackle these. Back in 2018, various news outlets reported that he started working on a microchip. The microchip in question has been described as being tiny, around the size of a pepper flake. The idea behind this is that it would be embedded inside a patient and would be able to track their medical records, while also keeping them updated. William Grover, who works at the University of California, was given a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Grover's lab is using microchips that will go directly into patients. Each of these microchips is unique, and the researchers have said that one of the benefits is that patient records will be much safer, and that clinical mistakes will be greatly reduced. The grant will last 18 months. This is just the latest thing that Bill Gates is working on. He's claimed that by 2035 he wants no more poverty. In his 2014 Gates annual letter, Bill Gates made the shocking prediction that by the year 2035, there will be no such thing as extreme poverty throughout the world, and that every single person on the face of the planet will be above that extreme poverty line, some of which are surviving on less than $1.25 a day. Though many skeptics scoffed at the idea, it turned out that given the demographic data compiled every single year since 1970, there's been a dramatic drop from that roughly 2 billion people below the extreme poverty line, to the modern projections back in 2015, to roughly only 700 million people being below the poverty line. This dramatic drop has been made all the more apparent when one takes into consideration the percentage of total population, in regards to the global extreme poverty level that went from a whopping 54% to only 10% of the world population being below the extreme poverty line. So what do you guys make of this new microchip that's being developed, and would you have one embedded under your skin? NASA have said there's over 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone. There's hundreds of millions of galaxies, all teeming with millions or billions of planets. This makes the likelihood of there being life in our universe very high. This is why NASA and other space agencies are now making it their goal to visit various systems in the hopes of finding life. It's likely it will happen. The question is when and how long it will take. For all we know, there could be life only a couple of million miles away, or it could be hundreds of billions of miles away, and when you're talking about space, billions of miles is a very small distance. Interestingly enough, Mars is one location that many people have said life exists. One interesting photo was this one that NASA rovers captured back in 2001. Amateur researchers noticed that when first looking at the images, something looked off, saying that NASA may have captured something extraterrestrial. Over the years, there has been a number of claims that there's living creatures on the red planet, and these are backed up with photographs that have been sent back by Mars rovers, with some claiming that this is definitive proof of life. NASA said the following about the image on their website. Backed by popular demand Themis Art Image 73. These North Polar dunes look odd, like a plant or a fossil or some alien creature. Note this visual image has not been radiometrically nor geometrically calibrated for this release. An empirical correction has been performed to remove instrumental effects. A linear shift has been applied in the cross-track and down-track direction to approximate spacecraft and planetary motion. Fully calibrated and geometrically projected images will be released through the planetary data system, in accordance with project policies at a later time. One of the most interesting claims came from a few months back, when a professor suggested that photographs taken on the red planet may show proof of living creatures. This professor is referring to insects, and states that due to the vast amount of photographs available on NASA's websites, one is able to, with enough patience, discover insects hiding among the rocks on the red planet. This news broke when the professor held a talk in November, and it didn't take long for the news to make various headlines around the world. Usually when these types of claims come out, it's from individuals that are set in their ways. But when a professor, scientist or researcher makes these types of claims, it usually captures the attention of people. During his talk he showed a number of different photographs, showing what was, according to him, proof of insects on the red planet. Interestingly, he suggested that some of these photos also showed insects that were fossilized. Some have said that it's not just animals that call this place home, saying that scattered on the Martian terrain is that of giant pyramids. Space is one of the last unexplored frontiers. For years we've looked up to the sky and theorized about the wonders it holds. Only a few have left Earth, but with that being said, various spacecrafts have been sent into space. Many interesting photographs have been sent back to Earth. Not only do these show us the wonders the universe has to offer, but they give scientists a chance to study previously unknown objects. In the last 50 years alone, scientists and researchers have made countless discoveries, but every so often photos get beamed back to us that are not so easy to explain. One of these was captured by the Mercury Redstone 1A mission, which was launched on December the 19th, 1960. While above the planet, the spacecraft was able to take hundreds of photos, but while looking through some of these, amateur researchers noticed something odd. In some of them there appears to be what they describe are unidentified flying objects. Interestingly, UFOs have allegedly been captured in various space photographs, causing some to say that whatever these objects are, they have an interest in our planet. Although skeptics rule this out by saying that what people are most likely seeing is space debris, others are not so sure, and go on to detail that even astronauts themselves have said that UFOs are real. Towards the left side of the photo, the strange-looking object can be seen. Some who have studied the object have said that it appears to be moving with the spacecraft. Skeptics said that another explanation is that it could be the reflection of the clock that can be seen towards the top. However, when matched up, you can see the object is in a different position. It's also interesting to note that during the 1960s there weren't many objects in space, ruling out the possibility of it being another craft. Those who have researched photographs from this era have said that lots of unidentified flying objects can be seen, leading some to put forward the idea that whenever a spacecraft is launched, many of these crafts can be seen around it. Although some rule out the possibility of UFOs, it's interesting to hear what astronauts have to say. During Gordon Cooper's space mission that included a solo journey with a two-planned 22-orbit trip around the Earth, he claimed to have seen a glowing object that appeared to be bright green, slowly approaching his spacecraft as he viewed it through a porthole. Additionally, the approach of the object was also picked up by the tracking station located in Australia, confirming Cooper's encounter. He would later say the following in front of the United Nations: "I saw with my own eyes a defined area of ground being consumed by flames, with 4 indentations left by a flying object which had descended in the middle of a field. Beings had left the craft. There were other traces to prove this. They seemed to have studied topography. They had collected soil samples and eventually they returned to where they came from, disappearing at enormous speeds." As of today, the scientific community has said that fast radio bursts are not entirely understood. In fact, a number of these have been discovered, and if anything, the more we've studied them, the more we get confused. Fast radio bursts, referred to as FRBs, have always been a mystery for astronomers and scientists, but this new finding might help shed light onto what might be causing these strange signals. An international team of astronomers have just discovered a 157-day pattern of mysterious fast radio bursts. They've said that by further studying these mysterious signals we may be able to track down where they're coming from and what causes them. In a paper published in Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, the team at the Jodrell Bank Observatory at the University of Manchester said that their study has revealed this is only the second time that a repeating FRB has been discovered. The fast radio burst has been given the name of 121102, and whatever it is, it keeps sending signals to our planet, with the researchers saying the FRB does this for around 90 days before going silent for 67 more days. The researchers behind the study said the following: "This is an exciting result, as it's only the second system where we believe we see this modulation in burst activity. Detecting a periodicity provides an important constraint on the origin of the bursts, and the activity cycles could argue against a preceding neutron star. This exciting discovery highlights how little we know about the origin of FRBs. Further observations of a large number of FRBs will be needed, and hopefully this will help us paint a clearer picture about these periodic sources and explain their origin." Another recent fast radio burst that made the news is that of FRB 180916.J0158+65. Interestingly, it made the news because every 16.3 days the signal followed a similar theme. Researchers have looked at the data and said that every 4 days it will spit out a burst, and then strangely it will go silent for the next 12 days. Not only would this be strange enough if it happened one time, but scientists have come forward and said that it keeps repeating this cycle, causing some to put forward the idea that it comes across as artificial rather than something that would occur naturally. It's not like this has only been happening for a few days either. Researchers in Canada have said this mysterious fast radio burst has been doing this for over 400 days. As of right now, the team have admitted they have no idea what it means, and that all this discovery has done is added more questions in regards to fast radio bursts. More study is needed to try and understand what these mysterious radio bursts are, and where they're originating from. Some have suggested these bursts could be messages from other civilizations, and interestingly, researchers have not ruled this out. It's exciting to think these could be from an advanced civilization. However, researchers at this moment in time are just trying to work out why they keep stopping and starting the way they do. So what do you guys make of fast radio bursts, and where do you think they're coming from? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.